Welcome to the CyberNova podcast today. My name is Jannes. I will be your host for this session, and I'm joined here today by Samet from SOCRadar.
Jannes, thank you so much for inviting me. It's a great podcast. Let's see how it goes.
All right. So for our viewers, can you introduce yourself in one or two sentences?
Of course. My name is Samet. I have been working with cybersecurity for the last 10 years. It's a long time. And before that, I studied computer engineering. I did work a lot of different cybersecurity fields. And here in SOCRadar, I work as a solutions engineer. And we do a lot of things with AI.
Okay, so you're a solutions engineer. Can you explain to me what a day as a solutions engineer looks like?
It's, again, with the name, it's the self-explanatory, I guess. We provide solutions, and we are with the engineering team. In SOCRadar, especially with our clients, they have problems, and we try to provide them a solution. This could be around the product skill set or our skill set. It could be anything. We basically explain our platform and the product, and trying to show them this could solve these problems. And it's a kind of a hard job to do it because you speak with the technical guys, with the technical language.
Okay.
So a lot of things are happening in those conversations.
Okay, I can imagine. We'll dive into that later on.
Yeah.
You mentioned you studied computer engineering.
Yes.
Now you're basically hunting hackers, let's say.
Yeah.
When did you decide you want to be on the defending side of this war?
That's a great question. I actually studied in computer engineering in Turkey, yes, and also did some master, and I dropped the master as well. But I will start with something because that's a really deep question. It started with when I was 10 or 12 years old, when I see the movie about Kevin Mitnick. So everyone listening this podcast, I will suggest to learn about this guy because if you are involved, if you are interested with cybersecurity or anything about cybersecurity, you should know this guy. So Kevin Mitnick was a huge influence for me, and there was a movie about it. I think it's made in 2001 or 2. And that's the exact moment that I realized, okay, there's something about hacking, there's something about computers, and I should be involved. Engineering part, studying part was just the technical backup. I was always hyped and interested with these kind of things. And it basically led my life. So life happened, and I'm now working with a company which we hunt the threat actors, or I will say bad guys, in different places and try to protect the clients, to protect the companies, countries, and even individuals.
Protect the good guys. Okay.
Also.
Cool. Yeah. You once said anytime your company, your people, or your country can become the target.
Yeah.
Does that mindset make you more paranoid or more laser focused on the target?
I'm really paranoid about that. Really,
Okay.
It's just not just a saying. I say that a lot because, for example, I can give you many examples that this is happening in every level. NATO introduced that this is like a fifth space, not just the land, the air, but there's the fifth space, that there's a cyber world that you can be targeted. So we see in the news, it can affect your life. We see in the news that there's companies hacked. It's affecting your life. Hospitals are hacked. Airports, you realize that there's something is happening in that world that part of the world. For me, of course, it lets me, a little bit about being paranoid about my individual, and my wife is really complains a lot about that because I said, hey, I get this email. Can you check for me? And I said, don't click that. Don't do that.
Okay.
And every time she's complaining about, it takes too much time to do something with you about this. And of course, there's the famous saying, only the paranoids will survive. So being paranoid definitely works in cyber.
Okay, noted. You're mentioning threats and hackers and stuff like the dark web sounds like it's a movie almost.
Yeah.
I read in your report that a piece of malware can cost as little as $15.
$15, yeah.
What does it look like a marketplace? I've got $15 here. How? No, don't explain me how to get malware, but
I can explain.
Maybe don't for I don't want one. But how does it work? What's the?
So the marketplace, there is when I explain the situation, people are a little bit surprised about there's a marketplace for this. They don't know about it because we call it deep and dark web right now, and it feels like it's like something from Hollywood, as you said. It feels like something cool, something bad, something dark. we like to in cyber we like to use cool definitions, but it's just it's mostly empowered by the Tor project. If you ever heard about it, this is normally for privacy and being anonymous, but it's somehow empowering the dark side of this thing, because now you can do bad stuff and you can hide it with the Tor project, with the Tor network, and then we will not know anything about you. So especially this project, I will not say I don't want to blame anyone about it, because again, it serves in a really good, it serves in a good thing. But at the same time, we see a lot of places that they sell malwares, they sell deepfakes nowadays. They can put any content there and we will not know anything about it unless you make a mistake. So law enforcement, for example, can take down these groups. They do a lot of operations and they take down these websites. They have multiple ways to fight against cybercrime. But at the end, if you're hacking a company, for example, at the end of the day, you only end up with one IP address, one simple information that you only know about the hacker's name. As simple as that, you just know something about it. Someone did something bad to you and you don't know anything about it. On the background, there's no way that technically that I can understand who's behind of that attack, and it's just somehow empowering it. So they build some hacker places. We call it the hacker places, black markets, dark places.
Yeah.
And there are multiple ways, because they use every channel that they can be anonymous, and they trust the technical part of it. So technologically, there's no way that I can find that guy unless he tells me his name, or there's a mistake that he's doing. Okay, they can ransom me, they can hack my company, they can ask for money. But after getting that money, they will spend buying a Porsche, for example, and then we will realize that this guy has no money, and then now is buying Porsche,
so
and the law enforcement can realize.
Yeah.
So there's a different types of ways that you can detect things. But of course, nowadays they are just with the AI support as well. It gets cheaper and cheaper. This is why we're saying it's lowering the entry level to this place. You can just ask things, and he can help. The AI model can help you to build or help to reach to these kind of things.
That's literally my next question. AI is lowering the barrier of entry for hackers. Are we experiencing more prompt to hack or like prompted hacks
It
right
is happening.
now?
I will give you an example. So I did some pen testing, where people will know what pen testing or red teaming operations, and you have to have the hacker's mindset, and you have to follow the same way. You have to use the same tools. And nowadays, it's just about, by prompting, you can be in your bed, drunk, but at the same time doing some kind of operation with the agents army that you built, or the model can help you on that. So for example, by just giving the prompt, saying that, there are some solutions that the models are providing. Hey, I don't want to do this because this is not ethical. But
you can
at the same time, you can just bypass around it and say, hey, I'm going to use this as a as educational purposes. And
prompt hacking
now
stuff.
I need to, check and scan this website and try to find one vulnerability. In the past, 10 years ago, it was completely different. To learn a simple, information that how can I, this is the famous question, how can I hack a Facebook account? How can I hack a website, for example? And to learn that, you have to do crazy amount of research to all those hacker forums. And if you are not individually getting help from another hacker, for example, then it will take crazy amount of time to learn one simple trick. With the mindset, there are some skilled people, there are some skilled hackers, talented guys. These guys can easily solve, how to trick the system, how to exfiltrate the system. But at the same time, now you can just, with the models, they train on the data, and they can at least show how to do it, how to enter this world, or how to do this way. That's the problem that we are seeing right now, and that's why we are saying it's the lowering the barrier right now, so that I can easily jump to the other side.
Yeah, because you said that models are putting up resistance, let's say, but there's a way to circumvent that.
Yep.
How do we navigate a world where our models or our protecting agents or helpers can be turned against us as well?
It's also happening. So there's a bad, I will say it's the bad version of these models, for example. It's the uncensored or unfiltered versions of these models. And there's something called fraud GPT or worm GPT. They like these names. It just, it has no filter. So when you go to ChatGPT's website, it will say it's not ethical to do this, but worm GPT will provide you the perfect phishing example.
Yeah. Here you go.
You can
go ahead
and do
and
this.
If you want to use it, do it like that.
It comes with the technology itself. AI is now just it's a huge hype, but at the same time, it's weaponized against us at the same time.
I read that you guys launched AI agents that are hunting threats 24/7.
Yep.
Is the future then basically good AI fighting bad AI, and we are just supervising? And
maybe you know the movie about person of interest. It's the movie that bad AI is fighting with the good AI. Actually, the movie is all about that. So it is kind of happening right now. So we're building agents to protect the same things like the companies, the countries, the people. But at the same time, they are building agents to fight, do the cybercrime. So what I can tell you is about, especially for the AI agent world, you have to be very careful. And my presentation was about that. You have to be careful about what you're providing to people. And nowadays, just a couple days ago, Cloud from Anthropic, they released a new version of their agent, and now it can access to my laptop, my computer, and do things for me, for example. And at the same time, you will see it will do mistakes, sending emails to my wife or someone else, or sometimes removing the content from my work, my desktop, for example. Things can turn against you basically when the AI stuff is involving. It's also hallucinating. There's another problem. It's naturally coming with the model itself.
Of course.
So we should be really careful, actually, to be honest, about this.
Yeah, a lot of let's say asterisks at everything that we're doing. Like this works, but
do this. It's eventually we are talking to a prompt, especially behind of these agents. There's a huge prompt that we try to explain. To do everything, actually. Like there is one agent that we built. It's fighting against phishing or impersonating. So you have a company, you have a logo, and you have some official websites. But if you are a target, then there will be fake ones in social media. There will be fake websites. They will use typo-squatted website. This is what we call. They change one single character in the website's name. They will put something else, it's not Google with 2 O, but maybe 3 O, for example. This is what we call typo squatting. And with the human eye, you can realize that that's a phishing one. And sometimes we also fell into the trick, and we all fell into the same trap. And the agent is checking the logo. Okay, your logo is here, your content is here, your URL is not the official one. It's similar.
Yeah, but it's not exactly.
Agent can
match.
There are a lot of techniques that they put these websites so that but agent can easily understand by checking all these tools and content.
Okay.
And it's one simple example about agents. It can do research. It can monitor the Telegram channels. I will also I wanted to give this example. There's another place that we monitor a lot of things. It's Telegram.
Okay.
It's a chat application actually originating from Russia. It's anonymous so that they don't provide you the information. And even their CEO was jailed for a while because they don't provide the data to law enforcement. So eventually we see hackers are moving to these channels because they can be anonymous. And a lot of conversation is going there. To monitor, to understand what is happening there, I can be talking about your company, about you in one of the channels right now, about this postcat, and we will never know it. If you are not monitoring, especially with a human, then you will never know it. So the agents monitoring the channel, I have some knowledge about me, my name, my company's name. Again, it could be logo or anything else that indicates that's me. And the agent can tell me, hey, now they are talking about you. Now they are talking about your technology. Now they have their system. It could be just the data that they exfiltrated already. They can grab something about your company and share it there. So I can provide that. So we built some systems right now. It's providing intelligence for the ongoing conflict between Iran and Israel. So we share the information and intelligence that we collected from these channels, and it's completely automated by the agent. So agent picks whatever important in these channels and sharing with our partners, saying that this could be to explain. This could be just one single IP address that's DDoSing one of the European companies right now. Because of this conflict, and this is picked by the agent directly.
And I missed something, I think, but there's agents in private chats. In secure
it's similar to like hackers. They behave like hackers. They're profiling. They know the group's chat channels.
It's groups, and one of the
crazy,
IDs is not a human, and they don't realize.
Sometimes
it's like infiltrating.
Yes, it's like a cat and mouse game again. And you follow it, and they realize that let's kick this. And this also happens with the human effort. Like we have an analyst team is doing that. They're profiling the dark web. They're trying to monitor everything's happening there, and sometimes they realize, hey, someone is getting data from here and sharing with the companies.
Yeah.
They see that there's a TI analyst, they call TI analyst, threat intelligence analysts are monitoring the channel because you put some data there, right? You,
Yeah,
you
of
sometimes
course.
share
There's
valuable
something,
information.
yeah.
And the company knows it.
course.
If I tell something about you, and if you know it, then I will know that
Yeah.
someone is getting the data, right?
So it's AI agent espionage.
Espionage, yeah.
Damn.
even
I didn't know I was talking
or
to
counter
James
counter
Bond,
espionage.
but AI
yeah.
enabled. Damn.
It helps. Otherwise, you have to use people.
Yeah. And maybe about those people, like even with all those advanced tools,
Yeah.
breaches still often happen from human mistakes.
It is, yeah.
Will that always be the weakest link?
I think it will always be. If these people, the attackers, as we says, are people, right? Mm-hmm. They do a lot of things, and it comes with the hacker's mindset. They can easily detect, what is the abnormal thing, right? They can realize that there's a weakness on my company or somewhere else in the chain. They can understand this, and we fix this by also human. So defender sides is also fully supported. And actually, to be honest, we have crazy amount of systems on the defender side. Mm-hmm. We have information sharing tools, we have security tools, firewalls, other tools that protect us, and we can alarm the other people so that we can get involved and try to prevent. But at the same time, a 14 years old guy from sitting in the room in Moscow can penetrate.
Yeah.
It starts with human. It needs to be protected by human. We talked about AI agents, but it's not replacing the people right now. It's definitely helping. It's automating a lot of effort. It just takes it helps for the time.
Of course. SOCRadar's mission is to democratize threat intelligence. Mm-hmm. Sounds good, great.
Great idea.
Yeah. What changes when you really democratize the intelligence, when smaller businesses have access to what used to be only for large budget governments or banks or...
Yeah, that's exactly the point. So democratizing thing is about cyber threat intelligence, as we call it. We are in this area, and now we call it extended cyber threat intelligence, extended threat intelligence, because we're combining multiple things in one platform. But the idea 5 years ago, cyber threat intelligence, the definition is also interesting about threat intelligence. Every company has own definition. There's a couple authorities as their definitions. But at the end of the day, 5 years ago, it was too expensive because there was no such thing that, hey, let's monitor these guys and try to grab some intelligence. And if there is, then it was expensive. So democratizing part is, hey, we will build a system like that, and every company, every public sector companies like mid-enterprise, enterprise, and even higher companies can somehow, at some level, have this service for their own good. So we start with this idea. We grab the smartest people in this area and then build a solution. So democratizing part is all about that, really. It was an expensive service that you cannot reach, and if you don't have this information, so you're basically blind. You don't know anything is happening on those channels. We are like an external eye to you or your company or your country, so that we can tell you things that, hey, these are the plans, these are the things they do it. Eventually, we're trying to respond 3 questions. Like, if there is someone right now or a group is targeting you or your company or your country, I will know it because I'm there, I'm monitoring their activities. If they are doing that, if you are already being targeted, then I will tell you how they did it. Because I know, and again, I know their techniques. And at the end, what is the motivation behind why these guys are targeting me? Sometimes it's just financials, sometimes political, issues, could be the conflict. We see a lot of conflict things. They are not asking for money, they do it for the country. As the president of Russia says, these guys are like artists for us. We don't care, we cannot just stop them.
Okay.
They're doing their arts.
Okay. A lot of stuff to think about. I'm going to steer away a little bit. If you had like 5 minutes with every CEO from every company in Europe, what's the one thing you would force them to discuss with their security team?
Yeah, especially, this question's for Europe, because we work all around the world, and we see, I will respond this question from the European perspective. I'm also in Europe for the last 3 years, and I realize I work with multiple companies. I'm talking to CISOs every day. And what I realize is just about they really understand the threat. It's also hard to convince them that you should do something about it. this is like a human nature. It's if you are not being threatened, if you are not being in a really hard situation, then you don't realize that you are in trouble.
Yeah.
This is what I see in European companies and the security teams. Until or unless you are hacked, they don't give really too much attention. And security most of the time is just a
bit of looking away,
companies. Hey,
ignoring it until it is too late or almost too late.
We haven't been targeted yet. So these are fine. Just don't touch it. It's this mentality sometimes could be dangerous for them because we see when the company is targeted, when there's a huge impact, when there's a damage, then the money flows. It's just the investments to the cybersecurity. Yeah, we need to do something. The mindset will completely change. And there are some companies already being targeted. They are aware of it. They are doing something. And there are some companies they are still ignoring the issue. So if I have 5 minutes, I will show them this will happen to you. And expecting that they will change something.
Yeah, of course. So basically, in one sentence, don't wait.
Don't wait.
Don't wait until it's too late.
That's a great summary.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'm going to be rounding up a bit into a little bit more lighter stuff, but that's a question of mine as well. What's the biggest myth about hackers that the movies you mentioned one that they get wrong?
I think the black screen with the green fonts.
Oh no, it's not
terrible.
real.
It can be real. Some people just prefers to use the terminal, the shell with the green colors, and you can easily do it. But at the end of the day, you have to do some commands. You have to execute something. Again, I'm telling you, nowadays, just you can be drunk in your bed and prompting the agent, hey, do this for me, scan the tools, scan the websites and provide me the report. With one hand, this can be done. But I believe that scene, I'm going to hack 5 seconds, get in the company. I'm bypassing the firewall. Firewall is just one tool, It's not protecting the whole environment.
So it's very simplified, I guess.
So that's why I'm suggesting the Kevin Mitnick's movie. That guy is a social engineer. And he does a lot of tricks, and he has a book as well that explains how you can trick the human mind. And that movie is completely different. It's based on the real story, so that you can really understand what the hacker's mindset and how you can do things.
Okay, cool. What is one belief you have or had about cybersecurity 5 years ago that AI has completely changed?
Yes, AI is changing everything. We are almost like an observation mode because there's maybe some people will blame me or will get angry but there are some companies every day releasing another feature and killing startups, for example. So again, 2 years, not even 5 years, 2 years ago, I will say, hey, this is a good product. This is a good idea. Yanis, you have a good idea about cybersecurity. That will definitely help me and help my company. You can sell this product. But right now, we're just thinking about it, okay, if we release this function, maybe tomorrow there'll be an AI company doing that automated for us and for a lower price, $15 monthly, and you have the perfect. So it's killing a lot of tools, it's killing a lot of products, but at the same time, we are almost like in an observation mode. Hey, let's wait what will come next and adapt for it. So again, at this point, I don't see any replacement of human being. It really helps. It automates the process. There's an orchestration. But at the end, we're still humans doing the things.
Okay, cool. Maybe one last question. If your 20-year-old self could see today's AI cyber wars, what would he think?
That's sometimes I say, I wish I could have ChatGPT when I was in high school or when I was in university. Or sometimes when I see a new tool, a technological device, it could be just the hardware that can, build something with that, for example. I say, I wish I could have this 10 years ago. I could build things with that, That's sometimes that the idea comes to me. And sometimes I hate this, I hate this happening, the new hype, this tool is killing the whole products, they're changing the whole world. I'm between, I'm just between this and that. So what we see is that we get help. And we use these tools to help people, the companies and the countries. But at the same time, you see that easily can be turned against you. So I observe.
All right.
My final response, we will wait, we'll see where it goes, we will adapt.
Well, then this is a great place to be and see what's going on, what other people are doing and what trends are emerging.
This, especially the SuperNova and today's the CyberNova part, is that a lot of people are sharing ideas. We are all here to see what is the bad side, the good side, and what we can do next. So
All right.
everyone listening,
Yeah.
it's a perfect place.
Exactly. Then I will leave you up to going about and sharing ideas and seeing how everything evolves.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
the
Hannes.
conversation and enjoy the conference.
Thank you, Hannes. Thank you so much for the conversation. It was really nice seeing you, and great questions.
Thank you. Thank you.